Hello, I hope that you are in good condition. So today I would like to give some online voice feedback to some of the selected works for assignment, literature review matrix, and literature review writing. So let's go for the first one. So I already hide the identity here, so you don't need to know who the writer is, but I want you to focus on the way it is written and then the way I gave feedback. So please focus on which components from your friend's writing that needs to be emphasized and revised from your work later on. So the first one is that this work is about EFL students perspective of flipped classroom in the English learning activity. So I use a track changes feature from Word or Microsoft Word. So you can just go to review and then activate the track changes there. So my comment here is, first it must have an apostrophe here, and then I'm not sure with the word perspectives. Do you mean perception? So try to have a look on that one, and then also with the phrase learning activity here, like which context is it in young learners, is it in secondary, senior high, or higher education. Now let's have a look to the literature review, how it was written. So I try to add something here, so all the comments and questions are on the right side here that you can see later on also. uh, Basically my comment is more on the way you develop the idea into academic writing. For example, this sentence is good, but it needs to have some emphasis of evidence, because you are trying to argue that flipped classroom is there already and it is done by many people, and its function is to help students to understand, for example, the subject of the language. So that is your thesis statement, and by that you try to develop into some ideas following that. Now with this one, Fatah here, uh, I think before you talk about um, the study done by Fatah, for example, I suggest you to talk about the concept of flipped classroom first here, because people might not know what is flipped classroom actually. So insert the concept here, and then after that I think it is okay to state that this kind of topic has been studied by many, and some of them include Fatah, who studied this, and then Organ and Williams studied that, and also Halili, and so on and so on. But then with this also, I suggest you to use an automatic referencing system like Mendeley, Zotero, EndNote, Bibliography, Word System, and so on. This will help you when you write a lot later on, and also to have a good reference management later on, so you might not lose your work. Another thing is that with this icon or symbol, this is called ampersand for and. So basically in APA, because we are using APA version 7 now, ampersand can only be written like this using this symbol if it is inside the bracket. So for example, if the authors are inside the bracket, I put like place in yeah, here like this at the end of the sentence, it is okay. But then if you put it like this, then the authors are suppressed, meaning that you have to make the authors go out from the bracket here, because that's the rule for APA version 7. So you have to change this symbol into the word and, A-E-A-N-D. Next, after you already have some literatures here, I think you have to conclude here. You have to conclude that you need something. What is it about actually? Yeah. The next one is the same, I think. um, Several studies, and then you include something here. This is not really the way it is done, so I suggest you to complete the sentence first and then review the studies one by one. And studies, I think, must be stated with found or results, because it's not a statement. Yeah. And not all of the studies in flipped classroom are about improvement. Many of them that I know look for perception, attitudes, experimentals like differences. So improve seems to limit your view on this topic for the writer, because improve means that you are only trying to look for solution for the problem of the class that would like to be tackled by flipped classroom as a technique. I'm happy that here you use Alamri. He is my best friend actually in Melbourne when we studied before, an office mate, and we worked together also on flipped classroom before. So good that you quoted from him. But then here at the last part, I think your sentence here or your idea doesn't really go with the previous line. I don't really understand what is coming here, and it's because it's just that's it. Then you don't have anything more. So I suggest you. This is a good start. So you already talk about flipped classroom and what happens in flipped classroom, but then I didn't see what are you going to do with this. Is there any gaps that you find? Is there any issues that you find or phenomenon? Yeah. So your job now is to identify what happened and what is the gap in your context, so you can really see what is really needs to be done in your context. All right. So with the references, this is good, but then this is not really right with according to the rules of APA version 7, so you have to read that one. Some of common rules are: it must be written by using sentence case, meaning that only the first letter is capital while the others are small, which is this is something like this. But then when you have a colon, yeah, I don't see it here at the moment, but if you have a colon, the next the starting sentence or word must be with capital uh, letter on also. It must be one space for each of the paragraph and one space between the paragraph. Yeah, and it is better to use automatic system. Okay, this is a good start, a good topic, but the review is not really strong at the moment. It's just a starting point, but this is a good start for you. Thank you very much. All the best.